we were just having chats.
Okay, so thank you for those who are joining us. I'm so sorry. My daughter is a medical school student, and she's got her last 2 weeks of med school that she's doing. And she was supposed to Zoom between 1 and 2, so I set this up for 2 o'clock, and now her decided to go until 3. So I don't have much of a choice in things right now. So hopefully you guys can all see me, and we'll go ahead and get started with FlipGrid. Can everybody hear me okay and everything's okay? All right, good. So if you haven't used FlipGrid before, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see what that looks like. Okay, so this is my FlipGrid account. And as we did this morning, if you were able to join us, I'm going to minimize this where it has our pictures in it. So if you can't see something, please just speak up and let me know, okay? So I will minimize that. So we go to just flipgrid.com, and I'm going to go to my grid so that I can kind of show you what one of these looks like. I did an activity with our English 9 teachers to show them how to use this with students. So we did a bunch of introductions. And so this is what it looks like as a teacher. And you can put a different image here or whatever you want. They have kind of a standard introduction thing. And then you can see our responses down below. So again, this is from the teacher viewpoint. But I'm going to show you what the students can see. And what it looks like for students looks just like this. So there will be a title, there will be directions, and then there will be responses. And for students to be able to create a video, literally all they do is click the plus button, and then they can start recording their response. Now, I can't do that because Zoom is actually using the video camera right now, and so I can't use both of them at the same time, but that's all they do to record a response. It's also very, very easy for you to use it on a phone, to download the app, and then they can just record themselves from the phone. So super easy to use in terms of the students. So that's where they do the responses. Now I'm going to show you how to set one up so that we can so you can see what that looks like as well. So I'm going to go over back to my grids up at the top, and you can organize these in one of 2 ways. You can organize them by a topic. So you could do, World War II as a topic. And this is one I kind of set up to show you guys what it looks like. And then what you could do, so this is our overall grid, is World War II. And then I could add new topics. So I want to divide it by class period just to make it a little bit easier to grade. So I could go first period. I want to talk about recording time for just a minute. I would not make this unlimited. Think about if you have, 150 kids and everybody's is 2 minutes long. That's a lot of time for you to watch videos and listen to them. So I try and make them as short as possible. I usually do about a minute. What that does is it helps them to be very succinct, right to the point with everything they need to do, so that I usually keep it to a minute. Sometimes with adults, I extend it longer, but I find that people have a tendency to repeat themselves when they're talking on FlipGrid. So keep it to a minute is my recommendation. So you can put in a prompt here. Again, this would be duplicating what I've already done with the topic here, but just for each period. So I think I put describe the importance of Pearl Harbor. Okay, so we've got that information there, and you can also copy them once you have them set up as well. This is a new feature in FlipGrid, and that's to record a video. So if you want to give video instructions to your students versus written instructions, or you want to include both so you make sure you're covering everyone's needs, you can record a video, and it looks very similar to Screencast-O-Matic or whatever, but in this case, it was the webcam. So you just record the video, you stop, and it puts it right into your FlipGrid for you. So very easy. You can also do a lot of other things. You know, there's uploading a video if you want to, or you can put something through YouTube. You can do images and emojis and all sorts of stuff. You can see everything that's down here. So I'm going to go ahead and create this topic, and it'll say my topic is ready. This is the URL that you would give to the students. So this is what you would copy and you would put into Schoology. And then you can see that I've got information here. I can record a response if I want to share my information, or again, there's the share the topic with the URL that you would copy and give to your students. So let me go back to my grids here for a second. And I'm not sure if this will show up. I want to show you how I did. Sometimes with the videos, it's not going to show. Here we go. Okay. So there's my video where I talk. I'm not sure you can see this. Hi, what you're going to do today is you're going to describe the importance of. And I'll stop that. Were you guys able to see that? Anybody able to see that?
Yes.
Okay, the video, you could see it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yes.
By doing that, we're meeting any of our IEPs where we might have to read instructions that might be helpful to our students. And it's very easy to record that piece of information. And you can also see too that I can duplicate the topic. So if I go, you know, this is for first period and I do another one for second period and third period and so on. So that is how you can organize in one way by topic and then by period. I'm going to go back to my grids. And then when I go back to my grids, I could also organize it. I'm going to add a new grid. And sorry, I'm admitting people now. I can name this grid first period. And once I do that, it's going to ask me, how do you want them to join? Now, students can join using their Microsoft or Microsoft email through school. That is a way to keep it very secure. What I often do is I do the public one, but then I only make it accessible in Schoology. So I'm not posting it publicly anywhere for anybody to get into. Once I click on public, here's where I think it's important. You can add an optional password. So you can add a password. You enter the password yourself, so that makes it nice and easy so you can tell the kids something easier to remember. But by password protecting it, you're then protecting your kids' videos as well. So I do like having that aspect of things. We're going to click on next. And then our grid is ready. We can copy that, or we can just go right to the grid because we can always look that up later. So now what you can decide to do if you want to is, so we've got all of our first period together. Now I can add a new topic. I can go ahead and do that World War II again if I want to. Topic or Pearl Harbor. I can switch that to a minute long. And I can add my, I'm just going to shorthand it and put Pearl Harbor. And then I can create my topic. So 2 ways to organize. Organize by your topic, then your class period, or you can organize by class period and then topic. It's just really what you're more comfortable with. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And again, I apologize for those of you who joined us later. My daughter is doing a Zoom class right now as well. She was supposed to be done at 2, which is why I set our meeting for 2 o'clock. And now hers is going until 3. So I'm doing my best to sit right next to my modem and get the best screen views that I can for you. So I apologize for the dark nature of lighting is important. That's when you do any of these things, lighting is really, really important. So Zoom had a lot of success with it. I've had students who really enjoy it, students who don't usually participate otherwise. They will get on their phone and they will talk to their phone all they can, and they love it. So what I'd like to do is do 2 things. One, I'd like to see if you have any questions right now. Then the other thing that I'd like to do is talk about how you might use Zoom in your classroom. So first, does anybody have any questions on what we've talked about?
How do you end up seeing their responses? Does it come through Schoology or come through the actual FlipGrid platform?
Yep, it goes through FlipGrid. So I'm going to share my screen again with you. I'll go back to my grid. So you've logged in, you're looking at all your grids, you see your classes, again, however you organize it. I'm going to go to the English 9 teachers. I'll go to my topic. And then what I can do is I can play, and I'll pause so you don't have to hear Bill. I can do a couple of different things. I can give video feedback directly to the person. So you can see that there's a component there where it says video feedback on the screen. I can grade it through a rubric or whatever you want to do there. So I'm grading it for them. I can provide written comments for it.
Zoom in.
And then I can either copy that feedback link to them, feedback link to them as well. And so that makes it nice so that I'm able to give video feedback there. The other thing that you can do is that you can also have students give feedback to one another. And so that makes it fun when if you especially have an interesting creative topic and then you have them comment on other people's, that is a nice feature as well. So does that make sense, Laura?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
So they can see all the videos that you can see?
So there's two different ways to do it. They can see the videos, or you can set it up when you set your FlipGrid up that they can't see the other videos until after they've posted.
Okay, so the point is that they're seeing the other kids' comments. It's not just for you as a teacher.
It can be. So it can be just for me if I want to turn all commenting and other videos off, and then they only see like what they've done and they can't look at anybody else's. Or it can be a collaborative thing where you can have them all collaborate with one another on it. And so let me go back to this. Go back to my screen here. And let me go up to one that I just created. I'm going to edit by clicking on the pencil there. And so I've got the different types. I've got the adding the password. And then if I go down to the features, hold on just a second. I will tell you also, they have recently switched several things. Before spring break, I did like a screencast on this, and then they've moved a bunch of things and changed things. So I was looking through it today going, wait, what happened? There's a bunch of changes. I am trying to find the part where it should give us details on other people can't see it. Let me add a new one. Actually, let me add a new topic. Sorry about that. So here it is, more options. Thank you. There we go. So once you click on more options, you can see where it says video moderation. If moderated, videos will be hidden from students until you activate them. So you can look at them first and then decide. And then here is where you turn off the student-to-student replies if you don't want that and you just want them to see their own video, and then they can't respond to anybody else's. So that is in that more options where you do that when you're setting it up. And you can also see, you know, the video title. Kids are able to do like likes and comments and things. And so usually I just those are turned off automatically so they can't do that. And then there's just basic feedback or custom feedback. So Jen, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That's
Okay. Sorry about that. I couldn't find where it was since they changed it.
no, it's fine. I understand.
All right. Other questions about FlipGrid? Okay, so let's just have a quick discussion and then we'll end things, because if you're like me, I know you guys have been in a million Zoom meetings over the past 2 days, so we'll keep it short as we can. Just real quickly, if we could just go around and how might you use this in your classroom is what might, let's kind of get ideas from one another. Anybody want to start us off?
You mean FlipGrid itself?
FlipGrid, sorry. Yes.
Maybe the way you said, with trying to get students to describe things succinctly and, you know, showing that they actually understand a topic.
Okay. Yeah, we know that if they are speaking and can speak to it and it describes something, that means that they're going to have some sort of understanding. So yeah, that's a great way to use it. Anybody else?
I think book talks would be a fun way to use it. I mean, students could share what they're reading at home.
Absolutely. I have used that for book reviews before. So we have students, you know, just tell us what they're reading and what they think. Again, keeping it short, they will go on and give you, you guys know, they'll go on and give you every detail of a book. So you might have something I've done before where they describe the main character, or they have 2 adjectives that describe the main character, and choose one of them and explain how they exhibit those characteristics. So that's a great way to do that.
Just getting to know the program so I can be more of an assistant with the teachers for whatever they need.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said just to get to know, I was just trying to get to know the program so I could be of an assistance to the teachers.
Yeah, perfect.
So
that's great.
I'm an instructional coach at Cedar, and I want to do like a staff challenge with it just so they can, I know not necessarily kids younger that are supposed to use it, but I thought it would be a fun way for the staff to interact with each other. So I wanted to watch and figure it out.
When I was instructing those English 9 teachers that I had the introduction, what we did was we did the introduction first, and then we had them get together and we were talking about it, and they had so much fun making a FlipGrid. They were just like, oh, that's great. I think Bill Calton was on there twice because he thought it was a lot of fun and wanted to do an extra one. You know, that it's just, they're fun to do. They're fun to put things up there. You could even do something, especially in this time, just getting to know or not getting to know your kids, but getting to know their circumstances that they're in right now. I've had it where people walked around and showed something interesting in their house, or show me your pet, or show me a baby brother or sister, and they walk around with their phone and show like different rooms in their house, or show me what your bedroom looks like, or anything like that, just to kind of you know, see where the kids are at. Great. Anyone else? All right, does anybody have any other questions?
I just want to jump in real quick and clarify the age for FlipGrid. Students under the age of 13 can't use it without parent permission. And at this point, trying to get parent permission, that could be really challenging. So that's why right now we're saying, unless you've already got that permission, our students who are under 13 can't use it at the moment. We're looking at how we can kind of broaden that parent permission to include tools like FlipGrid for the future, but just to provide a little bit of clarity on that.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that, Sarah. Since I have high school kids and I just don't worry about it if it's under 13, so it's not something I think about ever, so. All right, well, again, I want to be respectful of your time. If there's anybody who needs help with anything, I'm always happy to help. Also, I'm going to share my screen here real quickly again with you so I can just show you where I'm storing these resources. If we go to the Avon Community School Corporation page, And once we're there, we click on the select a school and the high school page. Up at the top in the gold bar, it says library, and that's a link to the high school library page. But what I've done is I've, under additional resources on the right-hand side, I've got just a link to quarantine resources. I called it for lack of a better word. And everything that I've been talking about or will be talking about, I kind of put together everything, resources from other sites that might be interesting, book resources, video resources. That's the screencasting from this morning that we did. Some information on combining PDF files, really anything that teachers are asking for right now. I'm trying to put all in one location. So you are welcome to peruse that if you need to. Well, if there are no other questions, I thank you very much for your time. I hope everybody is doing well. And I guess tomorrow is a teaching day, huh? So good luck with your kids. And thank you for joining us on FlipGrid today.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks, Robin.
Robin.